Hey gamers, Melkor6925 here, bringing you our latest Clash Royale video. And today's video we're going to have a look at Pekkas Playhouse and all the cards that become available in Arena 4. This is unlocked with 1100 cups and goes always up to the Spell Valley at 1400. The cards that we're going to be looking at today is firstly the Tesla, the Minion Horde, the Inferno Tower, the Hog Rider, the Freeze Spell, and the Pecker. So guys, these are the cards we are discussing today and how deadly or poor they could potentially be. So guys, let's have a quick gander and see what we think. Firstly, we have the Tesla. This is a defensive building. Whenever it's not zapping the enemy, the power of electricity is best kept grounded. That's right, this is a 4 elixir cost defensive unit. Plonk it on your side of the field, and when it's not busy zapping your opponents, it hides under the ground and can't be damaged by any spells or any troops. The moment a troop gets in range, up he pops and he starts zapping those troops one at a time every 0.7 seconds. Fantastic amount of damage and fantastic at taking out things like Minion Hordes and distraction troops as well. Overall, a very, very valuable card on defense, which many people do use within their decks. It's one card I've come to hate in many a fight, but it's very good on defense. Obviously, no effect on offense. And what you find is, what a lot of people used to do was stick a Tesla in front of an Expo and let that Expo take down the opponent's tower. That is a tactic that can no longer be utilised. Thank God for that. But overall, guys, a fantastic defensive building which can do some serious damage to any opponent's attacks. Next up, we have one of my favourite cards, the Minion Horde. 6 minions for 5 elixir. And these guys can belt out the damage. These are both good on defense for taking out large units such as the Pecker, taking out your barbarians, taking out your prince if he's being held up, taking out the hog if he's being held up, things like that, etc. On offense, it can take out any troops in a matter of seconds, including doing some serious damage to things such as your Pecker and your golem. And when they get onto that tower, they are going to do some serious damage. The problem is they are very vulnerable to things such as arrows, fireballs, musketeer, archers, etc. They only have very low hit points. So if the opponent does have a lot of troops that can target the air troops that you have, you could be in a bit of trouble. So just be wary. Arrows for 3 elixir are the bane of the Minion Horde. But guys, this is a card I have in many of my decks, and in my main deck it plays a vital role in me getting 3 stars, or 3 crowns should I say. Next up, we have the Inferno Tower. Very similar to how it works in Clash of Clans. It will start off with a very low amount of damage to a troop, and as the time progresses, that damage drastically increases. If you can get an Inferno Tower latched onto a very high hit point opponent, such as a Pecker, Golem, something like that, that troop's going to go down very, very quickly. It targets both ground and air, but it does come at an expensive cost of 5 elixir. Now, unfortunately, it can be swarmed as well quite easily, but it does have a large amounts of hit points as well, so it's not the easiest to take down. Now, it does last 40 seconds, and it does have a 6.5 range as well, so it does have a large range. It's something to take into account. You stick this guy at the back, and he's going to start piling on that damage at a very early stage. Not a card I use very often, but in the right hands, very capable on defense, especially when taking out some of those bigger boys. Next up, we have one of my favourites, the Hog Rider. That's right, guys, we have the Hog Rider. This guy's going to get on that hog, pelt down to the opposite side of the field, and he is going to go to town on those towers. Obviously, he doesn't target troops, he only targets defensive buildings, but that does mean things like bomb towers, etc. Teslas, cannons, he's going to go to them. So that's his weakness. He can be easily distracted by a defensive building. But if you can get this guy onto that tower, he is going to do some serious damage. 106 DPS a second as a level 1 Hog Rider. Couple of swings of that hammer and those towers are going down. This works fantastically with free spell. And also it works quite well if you can get him in going down the channel at the same time with a Minion Horde. So if the opponent doesn't have arrows, it's a fantastic combination to throw down at him. The Hog Rider is terrible on defense. The only thing it's good at is potentially distracting a Pecker. Drop it at the side of the Pecker, let the Pecker take a swing at it as it runs past and distracts it from getting to your tower. But other than that, it's a purely offensive unit. Can be taken out with barbarians, things like that. They've got a reasonable amount of attack strength and things like Peckers. Your Musketeer will do a lot of damage for it, but it is only 4 elixir cost, and played at the right time, get it onto that tower, absolutely deadly. Next up we have the free spell, one of the best cards in the deck to work with the Pecker and to work with things such as barbarians as well. Both are capable of working on offense and defense. On offense, what you want to do is freeze the opponent. If you get a Hog Rider onto that tower, you can freeze that tower as well as any troops they drop to take it out. Let that Hog Rider go to town on that tower. That tower's going down near enough before that spell ends. Won't get there entirely, but that tower will have a hell of a lot health left than it did at the start. Again, fantastic on defense as well. If your opponent's coming straight down at you and you don't have enough troops to take them out, you drop that free spell on those troops. Fantastic at freezing Minion Hordes and things like that, and the Hog Rider, so you can get something down to actually deal the damage. It does cost 4 elixir, but a very versatile card on both offense and defense if utilised correctly. Not a card I use very often, but has a lot of potential in the right hands. And next up we have the epic, the Giant Pecker. Obviously, he's just called the Pecker, but I like to call him the Giant Pecker because he is a giant. And if you see this guy deployed on the battlefield, you better start to think, I'm in for some serious pain. Things with the Pecker, it has a hell of a lot of HP and it does a hell of a lot of damage. So if this thing gets onto that tower's going down very quickly. But it's got to get to that tower. And this card is easy to distract. Best defense is probably something like the Barbarians to lure it into the middle. Or the Goblins or something along those times. Some low unit troop cost troops that can lure it into the middle so the other tower can potentially hit it. Because it will go for the troops. It doesn't go directly for the towers. Dropping things like Minion Hordes on top of it that they can't hit will just absolutely melt a Pecker. It is easily distracted, but like I said guys, and it is very slow, but if you get that Pecker onto that tower is going to go down. Obviously it does come out of a spent of 7 elixir, so what you'll find is a lot of people will play the Pecker right at the back, allow it to build up an army behind it while obviously getting additional elixir to obviously try and take it out. What you'll find is my best counter for this is when someone drops a Pecker down on their side of the field, I drop my Prince on the other side of the field to go straight down to that crown tower because you know they're low on elixir at that point and you can do some serious damage to their towers before they even have a chance to get some troops down. So just remember that. Fantastic counter to the Pecker is to ignore it till it gets to your side of the field and concentrate on the opponent's opposite sides and opposite channel and see how much damage you can physically get done, because I tell you something, you could potentially take down a tower before that Pecker even gets to your side of the field because that's 7 elixir cost. So just remember that. But like I said guys, if this troop gets to that tower, it is going down fast, so be wary. So guys, that's it from me. That's all the cards in the Pekkas Playhouse. If you like what you see, comment below, let me know. Next up will be the cards in Spell Valley. Now as you can see, I am missing one card there, so we'll discuss that in the next video as well. But if you like what you see guys, comment below, let me know. If you've not subscribed, do me a big massive favour, hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you gamers next time. Take care.